Hey, what's up, everybody? Video 44 coming to another video. All right, so I'm eating breakfast, and I'm thinking about players that the Lakers might want to target. I know we've been looking in Detroit's direction for Bogey and Nerlens Noel, players that I have no interest in necessarily taking on at all. But I look at an expiring contract by the name of Hamidou Diallo that they have, and I say he fits the bill. That's a player the Lakers should want to re-sign if they were to get a hands on him. I think he's a player who's can play a little three, a little two. Very, very athletic, ascending. You know, he's going to get better as he continues to play, as he continues to get roles. He's starting to pop in Detroit right now. It's time for somebody to invest in him. It is. It's time for a team to invest in him. And as I look at us as a team, I'm saying the thing that we can't live without is the things that Russell Westbrook does. Now, granted, Hamidou Diallo is not going to be like Russell Westbrook in terms of assists. You're not going to get that type of production. He's not chasing out stats like that to give you that fullness of that production by any stretch of the imagination. But what I look at is, I continue my thought. Russell Westbrook, Lonnie Walker, players who may be leaving, athletic guys who are going to put pressure on the rim. If we remove that dynamic by trading those two players, believe you me, we're going to be a lesser basketball team in a very significant way. LeBron James is going to be able to make up for that. But I'm telling you, what we're going to have to do is have LeBron James rushing at the rim twice as much, and that's bad for him. So we're going to need to keep players who can do the things that Russell Westbrook and Lonnie Walker do on this team. So it's a bit redundant, to say the least, trying to trade match salaries with Detroit with what we have. Lonnie Walker would have to be traded for Hamidou Diallo. Why would you do that? Either you want to keep them both or replace Lonnie with Hamidou if for some reason you're losing Lonnie. But it makes no sense to bring them both in, and since they're both expiring. You know, it's like, or rather, swap them for one another if they're both expiring. Now, I wouldn't mind bringing them both in with the intention of re-signing them, but it's going to be kind of hard to do that, I imagine, with our circumstance. But I'm just thinking about what this unit's going to need. And if we're going to trade Russell Westbrook, which it looks like they may try to do, you're going to want that type of dynamic in place. And I just look at a guy like Hamidou as somebody I'd like to pair next to Lonnie, to be honest with you. Next to Austin, next to Max, and just have a bunch of wings. Obviously, Rui, players that I want to see on this team going forward. Wenyen, I want to continue to invest in Wenyen. I want us to keep him for multiple years if we can. You know, and Thomas, I do want to keep Thomas as well, because I just think of him as easy buckets and endless energy. We just got to live with it, with the fact that he cannot defend. We got to be able to remedy that by keeping a healthy Anthony Davis next to him, or a healthy defensive big who can do some things next to him. You know, so that's something that maybe the Lakers can be looking into. I was looking at this player as I'm doing homework on the Celtics right now, that I think can really kind of give us an idea what type of prototype player to search for that I think could help our team. They were playing against the New York Knicks, a guy by the name of Jericho Sims. Now, you're not going to get Jericho Sims from the Knicks, but I was looking at what Jericho was doing, and that's exactly what's missing from this team. A ridiculously athletic person that's going to jump above the rim, catch rebounds, and just make life really easy for us. That's supposed to be Damian Jones, but he can't do it. And Wenyen Gabriel's not athletic to that degree, even though he does those things. He doesn't do it in that dynamic, explosive, super explosive way. We need that super explosive, Shaedon Sharpe, Jericho Sims, Obi Toppin type guy who can just fly. We need that. That's that reliable lob threat, reliable, easy offensive rebound player, easy, explosive player that's going to give us highlights, that's going to electrify the crowd and keep the momentum high, especially if you're losing Russell Westbrook. Like, these are things that I really know that are important. LeBron James is going to do those things, but you don't want him having to do them double time. You don't want him having to do them too much at the age 20, a year 20 rather. So, that's what I'm thinking, man. We need an easy bucket getter. Although we have a lot of forwards, we're starting to find ourselves with more forwards. It ain't enough. It ain't enough, because we use them all, and they're going to. Some of them may end up with injuries. I'm not putting that out in the air, but it's something you prepare for, especially if Anthony Davis is the centerpiece. There are going to be games I don't even want Anthony to play. I think load management should be the name of the day. Game with Anthony Davis. We should Kawhi Leonard him basically. Every 3 games he's sitting. That kind of thing. If we're smart, limit any chances of him getting hurt. So that's what I'm saying. If we had us a Obi Toppin, a Jericho Sims type player, Anthony Davis could sit more because you know for sure that you got somebody featured in that spot. And as I look at Rui, I'm like, Rui's not that. Rui's not that. I'd rather Rui be at the 3. I look at Rui as somebody who's going to be doing spot ups, pretty fadeaways, stuff like that. He can jump some, but he's not an open court guy. He's not flying all over the place. That's not his game. He's going to be doing more of the things that you see jump shooters do, basically, which is going to be a great thing because his mechanics are awesome, like absolutely awesome. So we're going to love watching him play. But we're going to find out that he has some dribbling, things to work on his ball handling. That's not going to make it so that's not the type of player he is. So I'm looking for the Lakers to try to acquire that high fly act that has real talent. You know what I mean? No disrespect to Damian Jones, but he can't really help us if he's not flying. We need somebody who's going to be able to do some real things out there. So that's what I'm thinking, man. Explosive offensive rebound, put back dunker. That's what I want. Get me one of them crazy, great 6'9", 6'10" dudes that's going to fly all over the place. Jeremy Grant type dudes. That's what we're missing. That's exactly what we're missing. So yeah, because like I said, some of these guys like Winion, I love what he does, and I want to keep him right here, but he's going to stay under the rim a lot of the time. And if he's dunking, it's not going to be like that. You know, it's going to be those guys that are going to catch the ball above him. So that's what we're trying to remedy. We need to make sure that we have a player like that. You know, Thomas Bryant's going to do some things like that because he's tall enough. So I'm not going to poo-poo what he does. Obviously, Anthony Davis is going to eat a lot of minutes, but I think one more of those guys to replace JTA, to replace Damian Jones. One more of them dudes. And then we'll be really able to match what we're going to probably be dealing with against teams like Memphis, who have like multiple players that do that. Even when they get hurt, they got players off the bench to do that. So it's like if you're going to match up with those teams, you're going to be ready. Teams like New Orleans, you're dealing with Zion. You're going to need multiple guys. You're dealing with Jackson Hayes. Yeah, you're gonna need that. And I tell you, I look over at Denver, I say, Denver, you're missing that too. I mean, I like Aaron Gordon, but I don't think you have enough of those guys. I don't know if they have enough of them dudes themselves. They may want to try to get them a Jericho Sims, somebody like that too. Any one of these teams that think they're going to pair up against a Memphis or New Orleans, you're going to need somebody for Brandon Clark. You're going to need somebody for Jackson Hayes and Zion Williamson. Clippers, I think they have some players like that, to be honest with you. I think they may on the back of their bench. And Kawhi Leonard and Paul George will take care of that in some ways too. But, you know, I look at Sacramento, they got some guys, man. You cannot sleep on those back of the bench centers. They got Neemias Queta and some of them other dudes. They can create problems for you as well. But I'm curious to see where John Collins ends up if he does in fact get moved. I think he might be of that ilk to a degree. His contract's a little iffy, but I know he's a volume scorer. So these are just things I have on my mind right now. Yeah, that's pretty much where my thought is. I think it's time to get back to find out what Boston's going to be handing us. Obviously, Jason Tatum is ready. I don't know who's all healthy for this team tonight, but that's what I'm in the midst of figuring out. So, of course, I'll have all those videos for you a little later. And my name is BDL44. Thank you all for watching.